Jungle.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Aaron Gomez, and I'm host of The Mashup. We're here for another episode of Movie Talk. And today, of course, I have Keanu with me. Keanu, man, what up?
The usual, man, which is good to say. Good to say that it is the usual.
Yeah, I mean, we're coming off, a holiday weekend, and we kind of just, postponed this episode because we're like, all right, well, everyone's at the shore, so it's like, why are we rushing to even, get this out? But, I mean, there's no doubt there was a lot of stuff that dropped. And I wanted to start this episode off, and I'm so curious what you're thinking, because, Terminator Dark Fate came out with a trailer and poster, and it's coming out November 1st, 2019. So, I mean, Keanu, what are your thoughts on, this whole new trailer? And, James Cameron's set to produce, but that's, there's limitations to that role.
Yeah, so the trailer was all right. It was, the film, the CGI looked like it wasn't done. It wasn't polished.
Oh, absolutely.
The trailer was okay, mediocre. Nothing about it. I mean, granted, there's not much, in my opinion, left to do with the Terminator franchise. There's not much left that's going to make me go wow, that was I can't wait to see the next Terminator. Obviously, James Cameron being attached to it in some capacity is enough to be oh, this is interesting. It's a lot more interesting than the last one. But the trailer itself was lackluster.
Yeah, exactly.
I expected more. Especially with bringing back
Arnold.
Linda.
Oh,
Arnold
Linda,
and Linda, both of them. I don't know. You expect more. And I've already gone on the record that I'm a huge fan of Gabriel Luna.
Yep.
I liked Mackenzie Davis and Blade Runner and Sandra.
Black Mirror.
She was Black Mirror.
Yeah, Black Mirror. Yeah.
But I don't know. And nothing about it was anything too exciting. It felt very formulaic. It felt very much like the last trailer for Genesis or whatever. Which one?
Genesis.
Yeah, Genesis. It just, it did look kind of cool with what they were doing with Gabriel Luna's Terminator, with the exoskeleton coming out of the liquid. That was neat, but it was a Terminator trailer, and it felt very much like the last few Terminator trailers. So
the fact that this whole new trend of retconning previous movies, this is an addition, they're just trying to get every 80s star they can to get a rollback, like say Alien 5, that's that's on the shelves right now, but still, Halloween, that type of shit. But
Alien
I honestly
5 was good, man. Alien 5, I feel like with Neil
behind
happen. It would have been great. That would have been one of the few ones that from the inception would have been yeah, you got my attention.
And it would have been shot nice because Neil's a visual guy, and having that updated, with just District 9, it would have been great. But we're gonna have to wait for that. But I mean, when I look at this trailer, I agree with you. It's like Terminator Genesis, but it was just so underwhelming. It was more spectacle than actual. I thought they were gonna go at least. What I hoped for was that they at least went to the nitty gritty, small budget horror. But it kind of felt it's just underwhelming. And, Mackenzie Davis is, of course you got to step up the Terminator, a newer, bigger, badder Terminator. And, Mackenzie Davis, she's human. Gabriel Luna, he can, clone himself or whatever. From, previous reports I heard from, Collider, Stevie Weintraub, he said that he and, a group of people saw footage and, they were praising it. And he said that, this trailer was kind of just showing off the spectacle. Because he was it's kind of hard to attract people to come back to Terminator. It's because, do you attract new people? Do you attract people from the old franchise? So they wanted to throw this teaser out to, try to get, a new reinvigoration. But,
they could have done better.
Yeah, no, they could have done a lot better. And I'm and I had this Game of Thrones issue because I'm yo, I can't even see what's going on in the dark scenes. I'm they had to step that up. And, being released in November 1st, 2019, I guess that's a good spot for it. But, the poster came out too. And it says the day after Judgment Day. I'm where's John Connor? I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, you can go.
No, I'm torn. I don't know. We've had the whole retconning thing that you mentioned, we've had so many John Connor and Kyle Reese moments that it's like, okay, maybe we do need something fresh. But at the same time, I feel like they're so ingrained in the Terminator franchise, and like Arnold, like they don't want you, none of us want to get rid of Arnold.
Oh, yeah.
So like, I feel like they should have Linda back. They should have Arnold back. They should have the new faces like Gabriel, but they should also have some type of John Connor. I mean, he's the main element. Like he's the champion of the people. So yeah, I absolutely agree. Like, where's John?
Yeah, I kind of have like a theory because I'm in the trailer. Linda was like, "Oh," or Mackenzie Davis is like, why do you think she's important?" Well, she's like, "Well, I kind of was her in the past." Like, she's like, "Oh, I was just like her. Like, she had to get protected and blah blah blah." And like, I was having a theory. I'm like, what if Sarah Connor's like technically not important anymore, and like it moved on, like the prophecy of saving the human race moved on to like another woman.
I feel like that's what they're doing, and that makes me angry. That makes me like I don't want to.
Yeah, no,
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that.
I mean, I can see why they're doing it because they want to keep the franchise going, but like, you should like pay respect. Like, let Terminator die. It's not meant to be like a 20 movie arc.
Yeah, exactly.
It's supposed to be like a limited series, like maybe 4 at most, 3 at most. I don't know. I think 3 would be a perfect cutoff, but yet again, I don't think they're gonna bring Linda Hamilton to actually have her just be a one-off movie. I don't know. Who knows? Like, I don't even know if Arnold even wants to do more of these. Like, I just need to see another trailer. Like I'm not sold on it.
Agreed.
I mean, James Cameron, he's producing it, but it's like, do you remember when Genesis came out and James Cameron had an ad saying, "Oh, I love it. It felt fresh." And I was like, why the fuck would he say that? Like, how much did they pay him to say that? Like, I mean, if movies, like producing has its own limits. Like Christopher Nolan produced the Man of Steel movies. It's like, it's not like, and like how those turned out. It's like, it's not much creative control, but
right. I would never imagine Man of Steel has Nolan. Like I honestly forget that he produced them.
Exactly.
And when you watch Man of Steel, you ask somebody afterwards, like, do you think Christopher Nolan touched that? They'd be like, no. Not with a 10-foot pole. He was nowhere near that production. Like that movie, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, that's a good point.
And like, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Like this, I mean, if anything with James, like the way they advertise it, he's putting his neck on the line with the trailer. He says produced by James Cameron coming back, like hyping it up, and I'm like,
yeah.
Like I know you got 60 Avatar movies, but like, I don't know.
Ugh.
I feel like he's just relying heavily on like the fact that he did Titanic and all that shit, but like, you know what I mean? Like he still has to throw something out. But I mean, Avatar was like okay to me. Wasn't blown away, but
yeah,
it was more
I agree.
A visual aspect. But like other news like this past week was Star Wars: Rise of Skywalker had a Vanity Fair magazine. They had 2 new covers with Rey and Kylo Ren, and it's kind of cool because they had like the Knights of Ren in these pictures, and they had ancient weapons instead of lightsabers. And Kerry Russell, who's Zori Bliss, who's actually like a Boba Fett type of character, and Richie D. Grant as General Pride. They don't really know who he's going to be. And this actress, Naomi Ackie, who's playing Janna, who people are thinking about as Lando's daughter. I mean, they went into the article saying, the Trinity, unlike Last Jedi, they'll all be together. And there'll be new planets like Pisana. And but like, I need Star Wars to like win me over. And I think the last trailer did because, Palpatine's in it. Zori Bliss, who's like a female-looking, Boba Fett type of character. I mean, I guess we'll do that route, but I'm more excited for The Mandalorian than I am for like Star Wars Episode 9, to be honest.
Same.
Yeah, so it's like, if is this new Janna character going to be Lando's daughter? I wouldn't be surprised because like this movie's going to be apparently an ending to a 9-movie like arc. So like it's all the Skywalkers and stuff. But I mean, I would like to hear your thoughts. And like, what are your thoughts and like how hyped are you for this movie?
I'm like my amount of hypeness is on like varies depending on like the time of day and my mood. I love Star Wars. I'm always ready for more. That being said, I can be ready and still be a little tired. And we've talked about this in previous recordings that Star Wars fatigue is true.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want this movie. I want to love it. When I saw Last Jedi the first time, I think I had a lot of like nostalgia fueling me, and so like came out of it like, oh, that was great. And as time went on, I'm not gonna say like I became one of the people who like one of the detractors. It's like, oh, that was garbage. I just think it's an okay movie. I think
Yeah,
the Force, and it's weird because I love the characters. I love Rey, I love Finn, I love Poe. I love everything about them. I think they're better than like every character, almost every character introduced in the prequel trilogy, besides Obi-Wan. So like, I'm really excited, and the trailer did do a lot for me. And like you said, even like the Palpatine laugh at the end was like, oh, like it got that Star Wars, fanboy in me excited.
Yeah.
So I want them to, and I hope the Trinity stays together because I'm tired of these. Like I'm tired of these separate missions. Like I want it to be. I really wanted the old Trinity, but they're dead and gone. But within the story at least. But the new Trinity, I want them together this whole film. Like I don't want them on a separate mission. I don't want them doing this. I want them all together. I want the story to like put as much as it can in it. Like they're dealing with the Knights of Ren, which is totally glanced over in the last film. They're dealing with Palpatine now. That came out of nowhere. Not nowhere, but it feels like it came out of nowhere. So they have to deal with all that.
Absolutely.
So I feel like the film has to do a lot
in 2 hours.
Yeah, and I don't know how they're gonna do it, but I enjoy JJ as a director, so I'm hoping that he pulls it off.
I honestly think JJ's the safest bet, and that's why Disney went with him.
Yep, completely agree.
Yeah, because like Rian Johnson, like we did mention this in the last episode. Like it pissed me off when they said, "Oh yeah, we didn't have a 3-story arc. We kind of just gave it to the director." So
but now, out of nowhere, did you see the most recent article? Now they're saying that the ending of Rise of Skywalker was planned from the beginning. Now they're saying that.
All right.
So I don't know what to believe with them.
Yeah, it's tough because it's like, all right, are you trying to like cover your ass right now, or I don't know. I feel like I honestly don't believe him.
She's taking after her mentor because George Lucas was the same way. He like flipped back and forth about how much he planned of the story. So it's like she literally learned from Lucas and she's doing the same thing.
Oh jeez, it's just I don't know. Like, well, yeah, it's just so much that has to be packed in. I hope it's not Game of Thrones, for these 2 hours and shit.
Yeah.
Like literally, the Knights of Ren are nothing. Like, what's Snoke? Is he?
They should have. It's so frustrating. They should have at least showed them and like touched on them in 2, so that in 3 it would feel like a payoff. Like Ryan really just like ignored all the stuff set up in the first one. It's so frustrating.
Like, is Snoke another premonition of Palpatine? Like,
I feel like he has to be for Snoke to even matter. Like, if they were bringing Palpatine back, then it'd be one thing. But since they're bringing him back, it's like now you have to make that Snoke payoff worth it, and you have to be like, yeah, this was like Palpatine's like. This was like another body. Like this was literally him just playing the game that he's always been playing. He let himself get cut in half. He planned that shit from the beginning. Like that's the only way you're gonna do it. And you're gonna be like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna rewatch The Last Jedi and be satisfied seeing Snoke get cut in half.
That's the thing. Like we have to watch the movie to like. I feel like if we watch it, hopefully it will change our like perspective on Last Jedi and just be like, oh, so it does make sense. Like really tie the ends.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Like another cool tidbit was that the Leia footage. They had a ton of filmed footage of Leia that they didn't put on, and it was from Force Awakens actually, and JJ had it saved. So I mean, you got to wrap up Leia's story, and I don't know how they're gonna do that. I just don't know how they're gonna do everything. But like, if JJ has backup like deleted scenes, and he's gonna like mush them together to fit the narrative. Whatever, I trust him. There's a reason why Disney dropped the original director for the last for Rise of Skywalker and just went to JJ because he's just like the safest bet for them. And I mean, like, anything you want to say this before we like move on to the real cool shit about Star Wars?
Yeah, we can just move on because I'm sure we're gonna have more Rise of Skywalker before it comes out. If I think of anything, we can just do it in the next piece of news that comes up.
Yeah, so like, I'm honestly gonna download this game after this episode, but like Kathleen Kennedy was announcing, and that like they're having a movie based on the Knights of the Old Republic, and they kind of came from BuzzFeed, so it's like kind of weird, but like a lot of news outlets are running with it, like Daily Post and like all these websites, and they're actually getting Laeta Kalogridis, who did Avatar and Shutter Island for Lucasfilm, to really pin the story about the Jedi's 4,000 years ago. And the part I'm kind of confused is like, is this Ryan Johnson's trilogy, or is this DB Weiss?
It's definitely not Ryan. I feel like Ryan's is gone. Either gone. I feel like Ryan's is gone. Ryan's, because there's no way you're gonna. It's gone.
Yeah, it's just like weird because especially they released their whole schedule and like, but like the thing is, these news outlets haven't confirmed, saying, "Oh, it's a movie." Oh, DB Weiss and the producers of GOT are doing it. So that's the part I'm like hesitant to say. It's like it's the Game of Thrones guys taking over, but like I honestly haven't played Knights of the Old Republic, but hearing this news, I do want to play it and like download it on my computer so I can get to know it. But I know from fans they love that storyline.
Yeah, every time I'm on, literally, it's funny that you wrote it. You wrote it that way because that's literally what it is. Like I know of the game. I know the cinematics are cool as hell because I used to always see like the expansion DLC videos at E3. But literally every time I'm on anything Star Wars related, the comments are like, give me Knights of the Old Republic, give me Knights of the, like every fan, every Reddit post, everything is like, oh, this is like what we need right now. Yeah. So it's very interesting because it's like a piece of legacy content that like it seems like everyone is on board to have more of.
Yeah, and I'm down for it. They literally have the material there. And it's just a matter if they're going to use it. And plus, Knights of the Old Republic or even the Old Republic, like, dude, those cinematics, like the new cinematic trailers they have, like the old ones, they low key kill the new Star Wars movies in my mind. Like if you YouTube them, like they're just
they're disgusting to go with.
Yeah, in such a good way, and I'm like, why can't we just make a CGI one? I wouldn't even care about that. But
legit.
Having this be away from the Skywalkers is the most liberating feeling in the world for me because I know we have a whole universe and this one family has to be the focus. But like the fact that it's in the prime era of Jedis and the Sith, like imagine armies of them coming at each other. Like, I can't wait. But even though they didn't say like officially that it's a movie or a streaming service, obviously I think it's gonna be a movie.
Yeah, I think so too.
But like the fact that they're getting Laeta to like pin the story, she'll be the first female writer since Empire Strikes Back. So that's like a cool fun fact.
Oh wow.
I don't know the stories like Darth Revan and all that stuff, but like you said, like all these players are always mentioning it, and the people I follow on YouTube, they're like, "Oh, I'm so for it. Like, fuck it. Like, 4,000 years. There's no ties for any of this. Like, there's not going to be like a Mace Windu cameo or something or anything to tie us down. It's free limits from here." But I'm kind of nervous because everybody's like, DB Weiss and the GOT producers are like pinning it and directing it. Writing. They're highly involved, but yet again, they have like people are bashing them right now, saying they wrote X-Men Origins Wolverine. So like, what are your thoughts on that? Like,
I know I keep seeing that. It's like, I'm sorry, Wolverine or like X-Men Origins is pretty damn bad. Like it's so DB. I gotta see what they've done because at the end of the day, like a lot of we've talked about this. The executives can get in the way a lot. They can really ruin something. So like I don't know that I necessarily we can hold them completely to X-Men Origins. Like it depends on everything they've created. So they have Game of Thrones. They've done some writing for It's Always Sunny. It's hard though because I'm trying to find. Well, either way, while I'm looking,
I'll put my 2 cents. I mean, like honestly, Wolverine. People are bringing it up now and really backstabbing them for this last 2 seasons of Game of Thrones. But I mean, they don't just give it to them. I feel like they've had long discussions that we just don't know, and I think they're fine. I mean, if people have slip ups, it happens. But like, I mean, I think we learn from it, and they still have given us like good 6 seasons of Game of Thrones, and I like season 7 actually. I mean, it did feel Hollywood towards the end, but yet again, they ran out of material, to really hark back. Will they make that mistake? I don't know, but I'm still excited. Like they're gonna pin, hopefully it's the Knights of the Old Republic. Like I'm actually excited for that, and I guess think people are really salty, like the fact that like the season finale of Game of Thrones, how it turned out. But I mean, I'm over it. Like once you get over the fact that it's contrived and it's rushed, it's like okay, like it's not bad.
Right. Yeah. And so it looks like only David Benoff did X-Men Origins. Like they usually write together, but only he did X-Men Origins, and he's also doing that upcoming movie Gemini Man with Will Smith.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, X-Men Origins, I don't know. Like I feel like X-Men Origins isn't that bad. Like it's a pretty mediocre film, but like the story beats aren't that bad. So I'm gonna give them apprehensive support. I'm gonna give them some apprehensive support.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, we're getting a lot of stars. If you don't like the movies, you have Mandalorian, which is already it's already signed to do season 2, and I'm so hyped for that. Like that just being
I love me some
immersed.
Carl Weathers. I love me
Oh
some
yeah,
Pedro Pascal.
dude, Carl Weathers got so famous just like recently, like coming back and just doing roles. Like I feel like
Yeah,
I don't know what it is. Like he's just reprising his role as an actor and like coming in these like different properties, and I'm like, all right, like
bet,
respect.
bet, bet. I'm good. Let's do this.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, a lot of Star Wars. Fuck it, it's gonna be a lot of Marvel too. But this is like this next topic is kind of different because it's like it's one of it's one of the biggest mangas and animes out there, and the most notable because of its design. So Akira is having a live action adaptation, which is being directed by Taika Waititi, and it's gonna hit May 21st, 2021. So it's actually gonna go up against Keanu Reeves' John Wick 4, and we'll get to that eventually. But I think like Akira is a hard movie in my opinion, and I really don't know how he's going to do this if he's trying to keep it within if he's trying to reach a wide audience and keep it PG-13, which I don't think he should do. Um like I've seen Akira once and I thought it was going one way with bikers and it went to like some whole existence like type of mind trip and I still don't know what happened to the ending. But what are your thoughts, Akira having live action, especially with like the kind of the stigma with animes coming to be live action?
Yeah, it's tough because like we have a history of just like video game movies just like kind of ruining it. But we also now we got Pikachu, um, and
Oh yeah, I still gotta
and
see that.
in my opinion, it's not really a video game movie, but like Wreck-It Ralph, I feel like is a video game movie, and that was like I feel
Oh
like that movie's
yeah.
fantastic. But like I
Hmm.
feel like we're entering this we're entering the stage of either decent or pretty good adaptations. So I'm in that regard, yeah, we've done really bad with adaptations of anime, but I feel like I feel like he's a good director, and I feel like he probably really wants to do the material justice. So, and just the idea of a live action adaptation, I'm like, okay, I'm not immediately turned off by it. And then in regards to I mean, I've only seen bits and pieces. I still have to see the full thing, but it's like that. It's the film that everyone references online. Like it's like, especially if you're into like I don't know, like not vaporwave, but just kind of like that whole atmosphere. Like if you're into that type of stuff, that's like everyone's like Akira. Like Akira is like the bread and butter. It's the one and only. It's kind of like Cowboy Bebop, that type of stuff. Where like there's these animes in anime, there's these landmark pieces. So I hope he does. I mean, like you said, I hope he's allowed to do balls to the wall. I hope he's allowed to do a really direct adaptation and isn't watered down by PG-13 rating. But I think the setting is really cool,
Yeah.
and I hope that he's given free reign, and I hope we get a it's 2021, so we won't get a trailer anytime soon.
Oh
But
no.
I will be looking forward to seeing the trailer because I'm interested.
Yeah, and like especially with casting and stuff, I wonder how they're gonna do their spin. And
He says that it won't. He says it won't be whitewashed, and it's going to be
yeah,
true, but we'll see because executives always find a way to fiddle with that.
yeah. I mean, he's gonna have to go through some tears to actually get to what he wants. And I don't know. I don't really know what studio's behind this movie. But Taika with Thor Ragnarok, like we have a good impression of him. And like, what's that show he does?
What we do in the shadows?
Yeah, What We Do in the Shadows is getting like good praise.
Yeah, I think it's already been renewed for season two.
Yeah, there you go. And it's yeah, Pokemon. I completely forgot about that because I still have to see it.
I expect to see it too.
Yeah, I mean, I hear good things. It's fun, and Aladdin came out this weekend. There's a lot of stuff that's just coming out. I just been slacking, but having Taika, Akira is the thing. Like Akira was revolutionary in its art style, and the whole cyberpunk vibe, and like at the time it was released, like there wasn't like violent animes or like cartoons, and like that really like started it. But it's such a complicated story that people just don't know until you start watching it. Because like, even if you watch the trailer, you're like, "Oh, I think I got it." and then it's like, holy fuck, like what is going on with this shit? Like it's like crazy. Like how, like what's his budget? Is he gonna have freedom with it? You know, like it's such a, I don't know, like if you want to do
It's a difficult game. It's a difficult game
so
because it's
hard.
like, where does the budget fall so that it doesn't automatically lose money when it doesn't pull everybody in? But then, like, how do you need to give it enough budget because it's in Neo Tokyo, so like you need to have a really cool setting. It's hard. It's definitely hard, and it's like he definitely has a challenge in front of him.
Yeah, it just, hats off to Taika. We'll see how it goes. You still got a lot of time, and if it's in May, fuck, like that's a start of summer. Like you got to have some confidence, you know, in this property.
Yeah.
Like to really, because John Wick Chapter 4. I'm not surprised it's by that, you know, that week, and you know it's already killing it. And the fact that you want to start off a new properties, and plus like people didn't like Ghost in the Shell as much, like on a May 21st summer release. I mean, that shows the confidence in the studio, but we'll see how it goes. You know, we're gonna move on to like, you know, some DC news with Swamp Thing.
Say before we go Swamp Thing,
Yeah.
I didn't watch the Ghost in the Shell anime, but I enjoyed the film. I thought it was like fun. Like I didn't, but I didn't watch the anime, so I don't want to like disrespect anybody because I know like I'm really adamant about my adaptations, but I enjoyed the film when I watched it.
Yeah, and well, I enjoyed the film, and the only issue I had was one, you know, Ghost in the Shell was violent. It was very violent, and what they did with the movie was like cramming 3 storylines, which was, you know, like it was spread across like 3 different seasons or 3 movies into like one movie. So it's kind of like it was pretty good for what they pulled off, in my opinion, and I think it's better than Captain Marvel, because a lot of people were like shitting on Alita. Oh, no, I'm thinking about different movies. But no, yeah, Ghost in the Shell. I mean, Ghost in the Shell was all right. I'll just say that. I was actually talking about Alita. Did you see that movie?
No, I didn't. It was definitely not on my radar. Like, it was just like, okay.
Yeah.
They kept delaying it, and I was like, all right, well, now I'm definitely, if I ever had an interest, now I'm definitely not watching it because it's been delayed like 6 times.
See, I fucked up, and I said the 3 story into one movie. I meant to say that about Alita, but never mind. But yeah, Ghost in the Shell was okay. I mean, it was definitely more violent, but it's a money move because you get obviously more money with a PG-13 release, so it's obvious. You know, Swamp Thing just actually released a new trailer today, and it actually had a lot of promos going out for it. And honestly, I've seen reviews on it from like Grace Randolph, and I'm hearing good things, man. And I'm excited because they're really toning down on the horror. And you know, James Wan's producing. We're always saying his fucking name, but he's everywhere.
It's him and Suicide Squad. That's it.
I know, but if you're following the news, it's always there. It's always there. But I mean, it looks awesome, man. May 31st is coming out.
DC Universe has been killing it.
Do I buy a fucking service? Because
You have to, man. You have to, because I want Game of Thrones season. I mean, not Game of Thrones. I want Doom Patrol season 2. So I need more support, man. I need to make sure I get Doom Patrol season 2. Titans season 2 is already confirmed, but I want Doom Patrol season 2.
Yeah, but these are sick. Like, these are nice properties. And dude, I don't remember anything from Swamp Thing except Justice League Dark and like the old sci-fi live action Swamp Thing. And now seeing this modern day with the graphics, like, it looks nice.
Yeah, it does look really good.
I mean, if no one knows, you know, Swamp Thing centers on a CDC researcher, Abby Arcane. She comes back to Louisiana, and kind of there's this kind of like outbreak that's happening, and they kind of like, you know, gets into the horror aspects of it. But you know, the first trailer I saw for this, he looked like a bad guy, but yet again, I heard there's like another creature that's like similar to him being a villain, but the tone is perfect, I think. So, but like, what are your thoughts on Swamp Thing?
I'm pumped for it, man. It's like it's kind of reminds me of like Daredevil wasn't horror, but like Marvel Netflix Daredevil, it was really exciting because it was gritty. It was like something that was different from the rest of the MCU. And with Swamp Thing, the DC Universe shows have already been gritty, so it's not as much of a fresh breath. But the horror element looks really, really cool. Yeah. And like I said, I'm a huge fan of Doom Patrol. I ended up being really surprised by Titans. So, I mean, DC Universe is killing it, and I cannot wait for Swamp Thing.
Yeah, I'm curious because, like, I hear, you know, I'd say that between the two is the top is Doom Patrol, and then Titans is okay, I hear. Will Swamp Thing top this? I'm hearing really good things about it, and I'm like, how much is DC Universe a month? Like
I
five?
want to say it's $7.
Damn, there's so many streaming services, man. I hate it.
The only thing I can say is they finally listened, because I said this a while ago, that I said DC Universe add every comic, from like a year and back, and they finally did that this like last month or the month before. So now it's like now it's kind of even more like it's a comic book service with TV shows, which is what it's always kind of should have been, because you're never going to have enough TV shows to justify making another service. But the comics with some TV shows is a little bit easier of a pill to swallow.
So for you personally, do you read your comics on an iPad or do you use a laptop? Like, what's your choice of reading these comics?
I try to do iPad because I feel like it's viewer friendly.
Yeah.
Laptop and on the TV sometimes can get a little wonky with the controls, but iPad is easy because it's like you can pinch to zoom in, swipe.
Yeah.
It feels like you're really reading it. So I try to do iPad, but every once in a while I'll just straight up use my browser.
No, that's cool because I was just saying, like, there's a lot of streaming services, and I'm like, I just want to, like, I'm already gonna Disney Plus is gonna have my money guaranteed.
Right, that's already guaranteed. That's not even a question.
Yeah, and it's gonna be $6, and it's like you're gonna have that. You might as well cancel your cable bill at this point. Like, I already have Netflix, I have Hulu, which is free technically because of Spotify.
Right,
and
the exact same thing.
Yeah, and I'm like, all right. Like, they have to figure a way to funnel all this shit into one thing, but yet again, it wouldn't be different from cable. You know what I mean? So
Warner Brothers, there was talk that if DC Universe's subscription numbers don't go up, Warner Brothers was gonna what the hell's the word I'm looking for? Not splinter, shutter it. Like they're gonna close it down and just bring all that content onto its own Warner Brothers streaming service, which is like,
okay. It
depends. Like, if the Warner Brothers streaming service is $10 and it has all of Warner Brothers content and it has all of DC Universe's content, both the comics and the films, then it's worth it.
Yeah, because if we're talking big franchises, Warner Brothers is there opposite to Marvel and Disney. So that's enough content, like personal like outside like our nerdy shit. Like, there's a lot of content for movies, and they already own so many properties. Like, I would get DC Universe just to watch Batman the old animation and have it play on my TV all day. Like, that's
it actually is worth it. Like, 2 nights ago, not 2 nights ago, like a week or so ago, I was like, I have nothing to watch, and then I just went on DC Universe and I put on Batman Beyond, and I was like, yo, I forgot how good this shit is.
Yo, that's such a throwback. Wow.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. It's like, damn, yo, this shit's gritty as hell. Like, this is good.
That was gritty. Like, I wonder if they'll ever reach that point where we can do Batman Beyond. But yet again, we're already on that Robert Pattinson shit still. But we'll see how that goes. It's gonna be a while. So, I mean, like, speaking of streaming services, like Jessica Jones, the final season trailer just dropped, and it's actually getting its release date of June 14th. This little short synopsis of it saying, when Jessica Jones crosses paths with a highly intelligent psychopath, she and Trish must repair their fractured relationship and team up to take him down. But a devastating loss reveals their conflicting ideas of heroism and sets them on a collision course that will forever change them both. So it's like Jessica Jones is literally the cherry on top for the rest of the whole Marvel Netflix. I didn't see 2, and I haven't seen Luke Cage 2, but I heard Luke Cage 2 was like a hit or a miss for some people, especially how it ended. What are your thoughts on this? Because I loved Jessica Jones season 1, but 2 I have to get on still.
Literally what you just said. I love season 1. I didn't watch season 2. I have to get around to watching it. But it's one of those things where, like, we already know. I can't help but feel defeated and drained knowing that it's been canceled, like, and knowing the whole MCU Netflix universe has been canceled. That's like, I don't really have the drive to watch it. I want to watch it, but I don't really have the drive. There's so many other shows, so many other streaming services, and the show has been canceled all of the shows have been canceled for so long that it's like, yeah, it came out. Okay, next. Yeah,
it's like the fact that you're telling us that it's over. It's like, what am I wasting my time for?
Exactly.
So I mean, hopefully they have a story where it, really wraps it up nicely instead of like, feel like Game of Thrones. Like, where it's too fast, but you know, I don't know if they changed their episode count, so like that's a factor too, because usually they went for 12, right?
13, and then Iron Fist season 2 was the only one that cut it down to 10. But I can tell you right now, if anything, it won't be a Game of Thrones. It won't feel rushed because one of the only complaints I've had about the MCU Netflix universe has been
Being
besides
too
Daredevil
long.
is being yeah besides Daredevil is like they're just too long. They
Hmm.
end up like wait like they end up like 2 or 3 episodes too long. So I doubt that'll end up happening.
Yeah, that's what I felt for mainly Iron Fist and Luke Cage season one. Because Luke Cage season one, it just the middle portion of it just felt so draggy, and I'm like,
Well, it definitely
all
gets dragged.
right,
It definitely gets bogged down by the fact that like you lose one of your strongest elements, like however many episodes in. Like Cottonmouth was fantastic, and then you lose him, and you're like, what do I do now?
yeah, because it started off so strong with the setting the tone and like the atmosphere, like where Luke Cage lives, and then, I don't know. I still managed to binge it. I can't lie,
Yeah,
but
same. I did too.
it kind of just blended it in where it's like, all right, I don't know what the fuck I just watched, and like I thought it was like, it could, yeah. That's the biggest complaint. It's been like there for a while that every Netflix show is like too long. Did they have that complaint with Defenders? I'm kind of wondering.
No, if anything, it was no.
Underwhelming.
You know what? That's a good question. I can't remember. I feel like
It was shorter. It was like
it was short. It was like
6 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that was underwhelming in my opinion. I thought it was a missed opportunity. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on Defenders?
I enjoyed it. I mean, it wasn't. I don't know if I went into it maybe with lower expectations, but it was fun. Like it was fun when I watched it because it felt. Maybe I didn't judge it too much. Maybe I didn't really judge it on its actual value and more just the idea of like, oh my god, like the Netflix version of Avengers. Like I feel like I was definitely like biased in that regard because I just thought I was just like so interested in the fact that it was a crossover. But
Yeah.
I enjoyed it with the first. I haven't watched it again or anything. Like I've rewatched Daredevil, but I haven't rewatched Defenders. So maybe that just explains how I feel about it.
Well, that's the thing. I haven't rewatched any of them either, except Daredevil season 1 and 2, and
Because it's so good. It's so
it's
much better than
so
everything
good.
else.
Well, I haven't watched season 3 again, but I did love season 3. I can't lie.
Oh yeah, it was so
Um,
good.
And it's like, it just sucks that they're gone. Will they ever reboot them? I think it's kind of way too early. And
I don't want to reboot. I want to. I don't. I
no,
want a continuation, man. I want like.
we have good
I don't want to.
casting.
Yeah, yeah. I just want to. I mean, I think that I honestly think they should. I mean, I don't think they'll do it, but they should just make a Daredevil
Hulu.
movie. Like they should just make a
Mhm.
Daredevil movie.
Yeah, no, they really should. Cause like, all right, I was gonna wait till bonus round, but Marvel Ultimate Alliance, like, there's like a lot of new shit there, and like having Daredevil being there, and like you dropped the whole mutant trailer and on your Facebook, and I was like, dude, I have to get this game. Like, I have to.
Yeah,
And
they're doing a really good job of because every game between Ultimate Alliance 2 and now has been either a phone game or or a port of a phone game, and it's had almost zero X-Men because Disney didn't own X-Men at the time. So
yeah,
I feel like Disney was Disney got whoever made this game like a year ago, and they're like, hey, listen, we're buying them, so you can throw them in. And now it's like the fruits of their labor, and like everyone's like, yes, finally X-Men in a game.
yeah, it's just like, I mentioned this last episode. I was just scared that the whole reboot. I'd call it a reboot for Ultimate Alliance for this new generation would just be like primarily the movies, and I was like, please don't do that. But then you were right. I watched a video and they had a special achievement called the Midnight Suns, and I was like, oh my god, thank God, like there's gonna be some variety in there. But I'm now curious. I'm like, are they gonna use like Ghost Rider with Gabriel Luna, or I mean Robbie Reyes? But like,
I think they will.
who
I think it
knows?
will because they've been really pushing them. But
Yeah,
maybe they'll have costumes because the other ones had
yeah,
costumes.
yeah, like alternate skins to them.
I hope they do.
Yeah, so like going off of Marvel, there was like it's a rumor, but like Marvel Studios is considering developing a number of movies and TV shows based on alternate timelines, so aka the Marvel multiverse, and this may even lead to the Ultimates, a big screen adaptation, but they're really trying to reference like the modern take of them. And this group's led by Captain Marvel and Black Panther, and it consists of heroes like Spectrum, Blue Marvel, Miss America, and like all these other characters. But like, since the whole multiverse is being introduced into, you mean post Endgame? I mean, this would be a cool idea, but I think like we need to just, we're still kind of like young, where I just want to like get the main characters out, like the X-Men and Fantastic Four, instead of like just the Ultimates. And I'm not really familiar with them that much, to be honest.
Uh, I'm actually. I want it needs to be a film though. Like like the modern day Ultimates,
Hmm.
the 616 version.
Yeah.
It's actually a pretty refreshing, or at least for me. Like, and I think there was a pretty niche like audience. I think it had a small but dedicated fan base. It was like it's like a different. It's an Avengers type group, but with like a different agenda and like a different like whole different feel for it.
Yeah.
So. Um, I think it has to, like, for them to do an adaptation, it has to be a film to do it justice. But the lineup, Black Panther, Blue Marvel was pretty cool. He's an underappreciated character. Spectrum was pretty cool. I personally like Miss America, but I know there's some people who are like, oh my god, like calm down with like SJW. But I thought the team was pretty cool. One of the main elements of it though was Galactus actually. So I
Mhm.
don't know. So like I don't know how that will work because they obviously aren't going to introduce him in the Ultimates, and also the main storyline was turning him into instead of being a world devourer, they made him a world peacemaker, world like creator. So you can't do that because you need him to be around for a couple years as a world destroyer.
Yeah.
So it's a cool idea, but I don't know, it's dependent on a lot of things that I don't see them being able to pull off.
Yeah. I think it's just too big, and I think we need to establish all these other characters, and I think it's too early for us to be this big after Endgame. Like even if it's
Mhm.
down the line, I think we're they've been mentioning Moon Knight, and like Shang Chi's gonna be smaller, and like I think Shang Chi is gonna link to the Mandarin because they've been mentioning that the Mandarin's gonna come back into Phase 4, like the real Mandarin, and reading Shang Chi's storyline, his father's like the bad guy, and he calls a hit on him. And I'm like, what if Shang-Chi's dad was the Mandarin, and like he was the one in charge of the 9 rings or whatever it's called?
10.
Yeah, the 10 rings. Yeah, so it's like
That'd be
that's just
dope.
yeah, that's just my idea how they can tie Shang-Chi because he's such a small character and he's not really crazy superpowered. I mean, in regards to the Ultimates, I'm like, maybe we could do that, but maybe they'll make it like a Captain America Civil War where it's like a Captain Marvel sequel, so they can really boost Captain Marvel
Yeah,
and like
yeah, that'd be cool.
just have Black Panther and these other characters. So it's like a Civil War, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a
Yeah,
4.5 Avengers movie.
yeah,
But like I told you, like I'm not familiar with them. I'm about to read Savage Avengers. Like I can't wait to read that.
yeah. It looks pretty dope.
Um, but I mean, Marvel has their trust. I think it's so important for them what they do now is because like now they have to hold people's attentions after this whole Endgame shit. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so it's like more rumors are like coming out, and there's rumors that like Sony wanted to put Deadpool into the Spider-Man 3 movie. This has been going on for a couple days now, and really when it comes down to it, it's Sony and Marvel has
Oh, so weird.
such a weird deal because like Sony still has control like who shows up in these movies at the same time. And this actually got debunked, this rumor, and instead of Deadpool, they're trying to get Venom, aka Tom Hardy, to be in it. But yet again, we don't know if Kevin Feige would like to even associate him with the Marvel cinematic universe because the reviews were still pretty bad. But it's kind of weird because Sony's in control of what they want, for Tom Holland.
Yeah.
And it's such a weird relationship. But like, what are your thoughts if either having Deadpool and Venom on like the Spider-Man sequel?
I mean, I'm at the point where I'm like, just throw everybody in this damn movie. Like, we've talked about it before. I love Spider-Man. Every once in a while, he needs help. He needs Nick Fury. He needs Tony Stark to make these things worthwhile. Considering this is like our ninth Spider-Man movie in the last 2 decades. So I mean, the rumor getting debunked, it explains itself. I mean, Sony gets final say. Marvel owns Daredevil now. Marvel doesn't own Spider-Man. So like Marvel, and it's such a weird setup where it's like Marvel makes these films. It's like if you had a friend and like you need to get, I don't even know, like you need to get something done, like you need to make you need to make a dessert, and you're like, yo, I suck at baking, can you make this for me? But I'm still gonna but I'm still gonna take it and like bring it to my work party. And like
Yeah,
that's
for
what this film
sure.
is. It's like Sony being like, look, we still own this character, but we suck, so how about you make it because you're pretty good at it. and then we'll reap the benefits, and you reap the benefits, and so Marvel reaps the benefits through merchandising and all that. So they definitely want it to succeed, but they don't want to like rely too much on it because it's in the MCU, but it's just making it because of the deal that they made. So I don't think they'll introduce Deadpool. I think it'd be a cool idea. I think it'd be a genius idea. But like, if introducing Deadpool makes the movie like $1 billion movie, Marvel gets none of that money. So like, why would they want to make something too? You know what I'm saying? Like, they wouldn't want to make it too crazy. Venom. I love Venom. I wish he would be in the movie, but it's kind of weird because it's like the Sony Spider-Man universe. So, like you said, I don't know if Kevin even wants to associate with that, but at the same time, Sony could be like, look, like if you want Spider-Man for another movie, you got to put Venom in it, and he's got to do it. Because
I mean, it's a risk because one, Morbius is coming out with Jared Leto. It's like if that fucks up, like that's gonna taint their vision of what Marvel MCU is.
Yeah.
And if Deadpool's in there, is this a way to introduce PG-13 Deadpool, which I think is a step back, but would they go that route?
I think the only way PG-13 Deadpool works is in a scenario like Spider-Man, where he's like literally like, "Hey, hi Spider-Man, I'm gonna not curse now because you're my friend." You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, like become more self-aware, and he straight up like references the fact that it's PG-13 solely because he's friends with Spider-Man, and Spider-Man movies have to be PG-13. But again, we'll have to just wait and see because these are both very big rumors to have.
Very big.
You're either getting a PG-13 Deadpool, who's also kind of which Deadpool's honestly a very similar situation as Venom, because Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool is its own film series. Seriously. Like, it's outside of the MCU, so it's kind of like either one of these rumors, it's the same scenario of Marvel being either forced or deciding to take pre-existing characters with their actors from other cinematic universes to bring them into theirs, which I feel like Kevin is such a control mastermind that I feel like he'd be very, 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 very apprehensive about doing that.
Yeah, and plus Kevin doesn't like Avi Arad, who's been with the Spider-Man universe, like the Sony ones and the reboots and everything since like the beginning, and it's just weird because if like how much are we gonna use Deadpool? Is Deadpool gonna be the villain, or is he gonna be I would love a cameo. That's it, like a short minute cameo. That's it, but nothing like him being a critical role. But I mean, it'd be cool to see a buddy cop, but it's weird because Deadpool's about shooting people, stabbing people,
Yeah.
And it'd be cool to see him break the fourth wall and be like, oh wait, I forgot this isn't my franchise. Like I can't say fuck in here. Like that type of stuff. But I mean, it's a huge rumor, and like the only reason I'm bringing it up is because it's picking up steam and it's like getting updated, which is really weird. I'm usually hesitant with like adding rumors to our thing, but it's like these are like picking up steam, and like the Marvel Ultimates like that, and this, and Knights of the Old Republic, which is not confirmed either. Like it's just been picking up steam, and
yeah.
I mean, like the whole movie news this week has just been like a lot of hot stuff, and like it's all new, but nothing confirmed. But like, if we move on from like these rumors and go to Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is gonna be on Disney Plus,
I can't wait for that.
It finally got a director, yeah, and it's gonna be cool. And she actually did, The Handmaid's Tale, and this new show on AMC called NOS 4A2, which is based on a book, and they're actually trying to look at an August release next year. So the fact that we got a director who's amazing. Handmaid's Tale, I love that show. And, to top that on, we're also getting Daniel Brohl to come back and Emily Van Camp. If you guys remember, not Captain Zemo, but Zemo and Sharon Carter, a.k.a. Agent 13. It's great to see them back, like especially with the scale of this movie. Like I'm seeing like a political thriller, obviously, like, Winter Soldier feel. But I mean,
Yeah.
what are your thoughts on this?
I'm super pumped about this. I cannot wait to watch it. I love the Falcon. I love the Winter Soldier. I think it's great that they're pulling in even more of the mythos and pre-established MCU characters with Emily Van Camp and Daniel, Zemo and Sharon. I'm beyond hype. I'm beyond pumped. I can't wait for it.
Yeah, it's like really. This is gonna be it's gonna be like the first one, I'm assuming, of all these these Disney Plus shows, and it's good to see those characters back. I wonder like how much of Are they gonna change it? All right, that's the thing. I don't know if people that didn't see Endgame, but whatever. Are they gonna change the title? Spoiler alert. Like for Falcon and Winter Soldier, is the shield tossing, handing down really gonna be a key role? Like, is Winter Soldier gonna wear a new outfit? Because there's been rumors on that too. And will Falcon get a new costume like related to Cap? Like, there's a lot of stuff we need to figure out. And the fact that we got a good director and 6 episodes, which I think is great.
Perfect amount.
I think it's like a limited series. You know what I mean? It's like gonna get wrapped up and done. And Handmaid's Tale, like Marvel, now that they have Disney backing up or had them, they can like spend the money for this, and it's really selling me on the streaming service, even though I'm already sold on it. Just the fact that Endgame's on streaming service, like on the streaming service by like November, December, and that's gonna be awesome. And WandaVision's gonna be next. Mandalorian, I'm already mentioned it so many times, like I'm excited for that. And what else is coming out? WandaVision.
There's rumors of Hawkeye.
Hawkeye, yeah, that's a rumor. But I think
Loki's already been confirmed.
See,
Marvel What If.
Yeah, Marvel What If, I'm very excited for that. And they actually said that the What If is going to be Peggy Carter being as Captain America for that.
Yeah, that's a great setup.
Yeah, and I can't wait for that. And plus,
I hope they get Haley Atwell to voice it.
Yeah, that'd be a missed opportunity for her to do that. But, Disney has our money. It always has. And it'll keep on going. But, since we're wrapped up, we'll do, like, the bonus round. A Quiet Place 2 is gonna have a sequel next year, but it's been actually released 2 months before. So, I guess that just shows, like, the confidence in this new property. And it is John Krasinski who's going to direct it. So, I don't know if it's a new story of a new family or an actual...
I think he's going on the record saying that it will be a continuation. I feel like he said that.
Yeah, no, I think it should be because you already have something established. Like, what are we gonna do with another family? Like another,
like, right? Because it'll feel a little contrived because like the whole premise was that you had to be quiet. And one of the reasons it worked was because their kid was deaf. But it's like, if you make a new family, are you just gonna automatically have another deaf kid? Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like you said, it makes more sense to just go off of what they've established already.
Yeah, just build off of it, and you already earned like this story for like an hour and a half that it was, and I think the smartest move is to really just move the story along, and the fact that they're bumping it up to March 20th, 2020, that's just confidence right there, and
Oh, okay. I just looked it up. It says Emily Blunt will be in it.
Yep,
but it also would focus on a new group, so I guess it's going to be like a combination of like you'll see her character at some point interact with this new family.
Okay, that's not bad.
So
it's like the best of both worlds then. Like whatever. Yeah. We don't know the extent of what she's gonna do. But like we'll move on, John Wick Chapter 4. John Wick's making so much money. It's like the highest grosser of its actual series and it did it in 10 days. So like John Wick Chapter 3 made 181 million compared to the 171 million of the previous film. So I didn't see it yet. You told me it was really good. And, like, the fact that we said it earlier, it's going for a May 21st, 2021 release. It's going against a lot of competition, especially if that's summer. And, what are your thoughts on the whole John Wick series? Like, you're ready for another fourth one? Because, like, fourth movies, even third movies are hard to pull off,
Yeah. I'm definitely ready for it. It's definitely a bold gamble to come out with a fourth one that fast, but at the same time, these films keep getting bigger and bigger. So it's kind of like, why wouldn't you make another one? I think the premise is simple enough, but also like deep enough that you can keep going with it. I definitely think like it reminds me of the Uncharted series, the Uncharted video game series, where it was like you thought 1 through 3 was going to be it, and then they were like, oh, there's a fourth one for the PS4, and everyone was like, oh, is there? Like, and I remember like the fourth one ended up being like really fun and really good, but it also was like, okay, this is it. So like, I feel like the fourth, I love the series, I love each film, but I definitely feel like 4 is where like, all right, this maybe should actually be it. Like, make this balls to the wall, and then be like, this is it for now.
Yeah, honestly, I think they should kill him off by this Chapter 4, in my opinion, just to end it. because I don't know how much bigger the stakes could be. Like maybe they get out of New York, get a new location. Because I think we've expanded.
It's tough though, because in the third one, like one of the only, I don't know. I feel like New York is such a like an integral component of it. Like,
well, yeah, because of the hotel and stuff. And,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that
And the
whole
second
lore.
and third one, they leave for a little bit, and then they come back, and it's like, I don't know that they necessarily should repeat that, but at the same time, I feel like it works. Where it's like New York is still important, but we see the continental, like Russia, the continental Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Like you see these like the Marriott Inn from another country.
The high table and all that.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, that's just my opinion. Like, yet again, I still have to see like 3. See how that works out. And
I like 3 for me personally. I mean, I really enjoyed it, but I feel like it wasn't as strong as 1 and 2.
I was gonna say, what's your ranking for all these movies?
I feel like it's 1, 2, 3. Like I feel like 1 and 2 are really close. I feel like 1 excels in the combat. I feel like the gun fu of the first one just can't be beat, but the world building and like an overall like thematic presence of the second one makes it really, really close to the first one. And then the third one's really fun, but it gets a little bogged down by some of its elements. And
yeah,
I also feel like what was I gonna say? I also feel like there was one thing that really made me kind of go like, eh. Well, I just feel like some of the stuff some of the lore that they introduced kind of got a little, and I love when they introduce the lore. I love when they build on it, but in the third one, it kind of got a little bit like, I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
So the fourth one is set up pretty well. Like, spoiler alert, but taking down the high table, like that's a good premise. But like he has to get to go through with it in the fourth one, because if they push it to the fifth one, it's like, all right,
end it.
yeah. He has to be about taking them down. Like he has to accomplish that in the fourth one, and that has to be it.
Yeah, I mean, like how much story could you have left? And John Wick. I expected John Wick to be a one and done movie, to be honest, and maybe actually just 1 and 2, like initially, at most. But now that it's blowing up and it's huge in pop culture for our generation today, because it's in Fortnite now. Like it's back in Fortnite again.
Fortnite.
Yeah, it's just nuts. Like I guess like. I love John Wick, but I'm not like huge on it. But apparently, it's such an influential thing, I guess, in our generation, or like right now. But,
yeah, it seems to be the case.
Yeah, they make it sound like it's so huge. I'm like, damn, and it's making money. And I'm like, and they're obviously making their money back because it's such a small budget movie. It's not really much. And plus, like Keanu does his own stunts, and he already knows what he's doing, and he has the same stunt guys since The Matrix. But it's like some of the competition is you got Universal, Fast and Furious 10, April 2nd. Tom and Jerry, what we mentioned before, April 16th in the last episode. Untitled Marvel films coming out May 7th. DC Super Pets, I don't know what that is. And you got another untitled, and you have another untitled live action Disney film. So it's like, you got Jurassic World 3, June 11th. We got another untitled Pixar film, June 18th. Batman, Robert Pattinson, June 25th. Indiana Jones 5. That's really actually going to happen? Fuck it. Space Jam 2, like Mission Impossible 7, The Suicide Squad. I'm like, damn.
What are we, some type of the Suicide Squad?
Yeah. Oh, please. I would pay money just for them to say that. Just again.
We're the suicide. Oh, my God, that line.
Get the fuck out of here, Will Smith. Of course.
All I know is first in line, DC Super Pets. Let's do this.
What the fuck is that? I'm about to look that up right now.
It's an anime. I just looked it up. It's an animated movie about like Crypto and Crypto the Super Dog, and I guess Ace the Bat Hound and Wonder Woman's kangaroo jumper.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Yo, I see. Listen, I can't really talk shit because remember that Titans movie that came out? That was a cartoon.
Yeah.
Well, like Let Titans Go or something. I heard that was really good and like funny.
I still want to watch it. I want them to add it to the damn freaking DC Universe app because I don't want to pay for it, but I want to watch it because I love DC. I'm sorry, I love the Lego Batman movie because it was animated, so they were allowed to have a lot of fun with it. And I heard that's what they did with Teen Titans Go, and that's why that was kind of entertaining.
Yeah,
so I want to check it out.
It really comments on like today. It's kind of like Deadpool-ish, That's what I heard. It was like really good things. I haven't really heard anything bad, but like the fact that like this summer's stacked and they really want to use John Wick, like I was thinking maybe they release it in like January, where all these like That's where the movies that are apparently suckish are like in January releases. So like it would have no competition, but whatever. I mean, it already established its name. You know, fuck it. I really think this should be the definitive last one. Like I'm really, cool with that. We'll move on. Kraglin, he's the guy, you remember Kraglin from Guardians of the Galaxy. He was apparently in Endgame, and he had Yondu's arrow attachment on his head, but he was cut from the main fight scene. So I think a lot of people forgot that the Ravagers were in the Endgame battle, and they really it was fast. It was fast. Yes. They didn't save him. Kraglin was in it. I don't know. I don't have that much to say to it, but maybe it's in the deleted scenes. But what are your thoughts on that, man?
It's cool. I mean, just another character to add to that scene. I think you can still catch him if you pause at the right moment for like a second. But I mean, he already plays Rocket as like the actual person who does the like visual effects, like stand-in.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That I mean, there's so many characters that I think that's it. I'm okay with him being cut, but it's also cool to know that he was there.
Yeah, and moving on, Invisible Man. So like this whole like quote unquote, I guess, dark universe bullshit.
This is something that like we need to talk about on another episode because I'm very passionate about this, but I just can't even. It would take too much of our bonus bits. So like, I want to revisit this because I'm very very like invested in this.
Well, I'm invested in it now, and I'll tell our audience. They have upgrade director Lee Weinel, and it's going to be released March 13th, 2020. But I mean, listen, we'll keep it short because it's bonus round. I'm excited because they're doing. It's by Jason Blum who's producing it, and they're trying to make it a small budget, which is great. So that's what they should do for this horror movie franchise. But I mean, what's your quick thoughts on it?
The Universal monsters deserve so much respect and so much better treatment, and I definitely think this is going on the right track. But even then, I'm not 100% sure, just because I feel like they're just trying to pump it out so bad, and they want their own like universe, and it's like, you were the OG, you were the original, like treat them with better respect, think this through, find better screenwriters, find your own Kevin Feige if you really got to make this a universe, and just plan things out a little bit slower and a little bit more dedicated. Yeah,
and dude, and I agree with you because it's like we owe so much for them for cinema history, like these monsters, and now it's like a joke, but it's because my buddy used to work for he used to work in like Cali, and he saw like there was a whole dark universe office for Universal, and now it's just like shut down, and it's like
it's such a shame.
It's a shame because they had like cool posters and like old school things designing the office, and he's like, dude, now it's just empty because how much a joke The Mummy was. And I'm like, that's so sad, and they do deserve this honor, and they need to make it like small budget. That's it. It's a horror movie. It's not spectacle. It's not like be like the old Terminator. Like I said, I want the new Terminator to be like about character and fucking good development. I mean, Jason Blum, he's good. I like him for what he's done for horror movies. So and Lee Weinel and Upgrade was badass. I'm confident.
It was like a better Venom movie than Venom.
It literally is the better Venom movie. And like, all right, so like another tidbit is the Sonic movie getting delayed to February 14th, 2020, to allow the visual effects team to really, redesign the character. Cool. Whatever. If you really need to do
cut
it,
and paste his character model from like any of the games. It's not that hard.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Because you see these fucking amateur fans doing it, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like now you're gonna put whatever. I thought it was gonna be like a 3-month process, and that's what the news outlets were running with. Like, oh, it's gonna be 3 months, but yet again, I guess not. Like, whatever. It's
I don't even. Ugh.
It's like, are that many people really gonna be watching this movie? To be honest.
Now that it's being redesigned, there'll be people who are like, now we have to watch it.
Yeah, because any publicity is the best publicity.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Like, no disrespect to the Sonic fans. Like, Sonic wasn't like, to me, like Sonic isn't big with today. Like kids today. It was big with us, Dreamcast and all that stuff. But I didn't really think there was a market for today. Because when I was looking at the trailer, man, I'm like, okay, so Sonic. Okay, that's for us, the character. But the way the trailer gives out the tone, I'm like, okay, so you're catering to like new generations, like to make it funny and like silly. But I'm like, who are you making this movie for? You know, like in the
I
end.
honestly think that's the biggest question, and I think no one on the film set asked that at any point.
Yeah, and like the only reason I want to watch is because Jim Carrey. Like, whatever. I don't know. Sonic, whatever. Fuck it. I guess I'll see it. I mean, if I gotta watch Pokemon first, and then
Same.
like there's like a lot of movies I should see, but I'm not like rushing to see. So like I'm gonna end it off today. Just a Batman rumor that's been going around, and there's actually been like it's kind of been growing because like some people are making concept art. But here's some like rumors on the Batman. They said it will be filmed like a psychological murder mystery, and it's kind of like a whodunit situation where, there's a murder in Gotham and all the villains are suspects in Batman's investigation. Batman will come across these villains and will try to put it together of what happened, who is actually involved, blah blah blah. So they said that the film will be very point driven, like Hitchcockian, and it's going through Bruce Wayne's point of view. So like it's not like a new movie, an origin movie. It's like he's been Batman for a while. But like these rumors, which are like really kind of getting interesting, is that they were saying that Vanessa Hudgens is Catwoman, Theo Rossi is Bane, and Toby Kebbell as Scarecrow. So like they did say they want 6 villains, and Cobblepot, aka the Penguin, was going to be there. If they have Theo Rossi as Bane, that's cool. He's Hispanic and he's from Luke Cage, if you remember him.
Yeah.
And Toby Kebbell, if I remember, he was Doom in that really shitty Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah.
There was other rumors that Richard E. Grant was going to be eyed for Alfred, which I think is great casting. And I mean, like just hearing these rumors, the fact that they're getting out there, who knows if it's true. And I wouldn't mind Vanessa Hudgens. I don't know the vision. That's the thing. But like the fact that they have Bane as Hispanic and like not being like a whitewashed character, which that catches my eye, and the fact that Batman's gonna be investigating and talking to other villains, I can see why they're using 6 villains. So I mean, what are your thoughts on these rumors going around?
I hope it's real.
Same.
It's like it sounds fantastic. It sounds really exciting. It sounds super like different in a good way. I love the cast sounds great. I love, like you just said, I love that Bane is Spanish. I love everything about it. But I mean, I'm not 100% sure about Batman casting, but everything about the premise and screw it, Vanessa Hudgens as Catwoman, sign me up. Like, let's do this. I want this.
Dude, like what's selling me the most on this is that he said psychological murder mystery.
Yes.
Like
yes.
That's oh my god. It's
sign
like
me up.
I'm literally gonna see the Batman animated series on camera, like finally. Because I'm thinking about the Bale series. I'm like, when did he really become a detective? Unless that one part where he was like trying to find the fingerprint on the bullet. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I was like, wait, so you shoot cinder blocks and you magically find a fingerprint? I was so lost. I don't know. My final thoughts on it, I'm cool with Vanessa Hudgens, and if Anne Hathaway can do it, Vanessa Hudgens can do it. I'm not gonna have that like I'm not gonna have the fucking like High School Musical stigma towards her. I mean, there's already enough backlash with Pattinson, which I have a different idea. I'm like kind of excited for it, so we'll see how that goes. But we have a long time before we can even decide.
Oh my gosh.
And this is just coming out like hotcakes.
So
it's like whatever. But any final thoughts, man, before we wrap this up?
I mean, we got a lot of good movies. We got a lot of okay movies, but either way, we always have something to talk about.
Yeah, that's true. Well, I mean, that's what's been going on for this holiday weekend, this past week. And guys, we're just going to wrap this up. This is Movie Talk. We're dropping this tomorrow on Wednesday. Well, because, the whole holiday season, fucked up the routine. We're going to go back to Mondays as usual. And hopefully, like, a lot of news comes out before time and again here.
I'm sure it will.
Yeah, I'm sure too. Like, since everyone's off break and, we're going back to our work schedules, I'm pretty sure we'll get a lot of stuff. And guys, thank you for tuning in so much. Keanu, as always, thank you for tuning in with me.
Thank you for having me.
And so remember, episodes every Monday, guys. This week, we are not having Life Talk. So I took off for that. But Movie Talk is only this week, no Life Talk. So Life Talk will be back next Wednesday, and we actually have the cast from the Alien High School play that's been going around on the news. So we have some cast
snap.
members. Yep, we have some cast members from there, and I hope you guys can tune in. And guys, thank you so much. So remember to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or on Stitcher, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. So I'll see you guys next